Morning. It is 10:01 a.m. on Friday, April 4th, 2025. Call this meeting of the Wichita County Commissioners Court to order. Item number 1 on the agenda today is review and discuss jail maintenance projects and work orders. Chief?
Axon has finished installing the cameras in CID and the Tox room, and they are up and running.
All right.
For the CID for sure. We had problems with rooftop unit D01. They had a leak in the coil. It's been fixed. The compressor had a bad circuit, and it's been fixed. And the stems had some, but everything's been fixed. They units up and running on that one. They did 116 work orders in the last 2 weeks, and that's all from that part. Now, I want to talk about the kitchen. You know, that north wall where the cleaning area is, and then the steam racks are at.
Yep.
Well, those walls are just not taking all that steam and that heat. So
Okay.
we reached out to the company that did the showers,
Yeah.
that special paint and finish,
Uh-huh.
to get a price. But we also got to thinking, there's nothing above that on that end of the kitchen to pull that steam out of the kitchen. So we may have to look at some type of fan or something, ventilation.
Vent hood.
Yeah, for that area. So we'll get some prices.
Does it just, the moisture will
The
stay in
moisture,
there?
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so we put some melamine board up thinking that might help, but it's starting to just wrinkle, so.
Yeah, just wondered how we can vent it and still maintain our security perimeter.
It's a
'Cause
drop ceiling there.
Yeah, but it still goes up to
It
the
still
tilt
goes
wall.
up, yeah.
It goes up the tilt wall and,
We'll have to, maybe, I don't know where we tie it in at, but we'll have to get somebody out there and look at it.
yeah,
Get
would
the-
not be more of a challenge than it
Yeah,
sounds
it's
like.
not gonna be a simple fix, I don't
No.
think. So,
Okay,
but that's what we're working on in the kitchen. So, and the kitchen passed the
yeah,
inspection.
not only
flying
passed,
colors.
it was 100%.
Yeah.
So I saw that on the city's Facebook post.
Facebook page, yeah.
Which is outstanding. I would have never, ever thought we'd be 100% on a jail
They
kitchen.
don't leave there until the kitchen's cleaned after each
think you
meal.
do that.
Do what? Yeah,
That's outstanding.
yeah.
I wouldn't expect any difference from our sheriff.
Yeah.
Well,
There you
I
go.
know
That's the way
of
to
whence
say
we
it.
came, so.
Well, that was a 60-year-old kitchen we were working in.
Yeah,
too,
but
so.
still, it's.
That was a
No.
good kitchen too, though. When it was, I mean, it was taken care of. It was done good.
Yeah.
I can remember sitting in some of those meetings where the list was pretty long, and
That's,
those were not fun times.
Mhm.
that's something to be proud of. That's all,
Yeah.
that's outstanding.
Yeah, they clean it after each meal before the inmates can leave. It's got to be spotless and inspected and after every meal.
Hmm.
So that's all I have on maintenance.
Okay. Any questions? All right, let's move to item number 2, receive status report on salaries and overtime.
These out, do that.
Okay.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir. And it should be in your email from yesterday at 8:07 a.m. from Wilmer.
Glasses or you're messed up. I can't see it.
We started 7 this week, and we have 13 open positions as of this morning.
That's with the 7 having started?
Yes. So slowly coming back down again. They will be in their training phase for a few weeks before they actually count as a body on the floor.
Is this cycle going to reflect any of the 560 overtime for the fire, a couple of the fire days, or was that on the last one?
It should be on this cycle,
Okay.
I believe. But on 560, going back and looking at the ones who had anything over 15 or 20 hours, those hours.
To jail?
Jail, yeah. Yeah, 'cause those hours are up a little bit from the last pay period, 560, so I suspect that's from the fire, those hours. It's just weird.
The index. Oh, here, I had the other one.
Oh, that's.
They're the same. I guess they're both the same.
Yeah,
so it
they
doesn't matter. I'm hogging them, Judge.
And I brought some courthouse security numbers from March. 11,315 went through the metal detector last month. And there were 47 arrests from courthouse security.
Wow. That's a lot of arrest.
And it's usually probation when ones come in with warrants or they get judgment and sentence.
Yeah.
Let folks know that when they walk in the courthouse, they got a 1 in 1,000 chance of being arrested.
Better than the lottery.
Yeah.
That's why most people don't like to come up.
Roll the dice, take the chances. And I think we talked 2 weeks ago about the 562 overtime number. And I see
Yeah.
that's coming down. And
It is, and then the one that had the 25 hours, that was 2 days into the jail.
Okay.
Yeah, I checked on that yesterday when I got this. I went through the numbers and looked at their time cards to see.
Matt, I think I know the answer to this, but gonna ask it anyway just to make sure. Saw these reimbursements come up, made me think of it. Reimbursable expenses won't be included in our gross on our W-2 for our income, is that correct?
It will be
It
included.
will be included.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's included in your gross.
Is that number going to then be what we report to TCDRS as well for retirement? So.
Well, no.
Okay.
Let me backtrack. So it only comes in as a reimbursable payroll. So it adds to your gross, but it doesn't add to your salary that's reported to your retirement.
Okay.
What
But
about
does
salary
it-
taxed?
But we pay taxes on our gross,
Yes, sir.
even though we.
You don't
it's
pay
a
federal withholding on that. And you don't pay FICA, right? FICA doesn't hit that. Yeah. It's just a payroll expense.
And what is pre-tax on our,
The
what does
About-
that account for?
23%, is that what you're talking about? All of the fringe?
Well, it's at the bottom of the W-2, it'll have retirement withholding, and then it'll have, typed in a box, it'll have
Yeah, your
pre-tax.
pre-tax. I've calculated this and it's drawing a blank right now.
What he's asking about.
You have your retirement contributions and then you have
They're right there.
your health insurance,
Yes, it's 3,500.
which is in another box.
Mine's only $775.
Let me pull up a W-2 and I can get you an answer.
Man, I can't imagine you drawing a
Mine's
blank
only
with so
750.
few numbers that you look at. I wouldn't know why you wouldn't have all that right at your fingertips.
But, Matt, why would, let's say, $100 gas bill be considered part of our pay, but our fuel wouldn't be considered part of our pay?
Well, I mean, it's all going to be a reimbursable expense. Are you talking about the auto allowance? Or are
Yeah.
you talking about?
Auto allowance.
So that does get as part of your gross pay and does have fringe costs to it. But if you're going on a conference and then you request reimbursement, that's not subject to all the other fringe. It's just a reimbursable expense.
What I don't understand is you have to pay, what I don't agree with that is you're giving it to me on my W-2 and I have to claim that as income.
Right.
It's not income. So I'm paying
Because you've
taxes
done
on it.
reimbursed me
Yeah.
for it, and I don't have a way to show
I've
that
already been
reimbursement.
taxed for it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think the way we're doing that's completely, I think it's wrong. I think it's cheating us that get a reimbursement. Because I've took money and I've paid taxes on it when I received my income. And now you're putting it back in my income and I'm sending it to the Uncle Sam with my taxes at the end of the year and I'm paying taxes on
Paying
it.
taxes on it again, yeah.
And that's
Because we spent money out of our own pocket.
tax
on a conference.
money already.
It's taxed already.
And now I'm getting taxed again, so I do have an issue with that, and I think we need to look at what we're doing, because I think what we're doing is,
Yeah, let me make sure that's the way that it's configured in Munis, and then I'll send y'all an email. And
whether
Yeah,
it's,
but you know.
Would you look at that the travel so that it should be a part of our W-2 as
Right.
far as I thought?
yeah,
I don't mind it being listed on there as a reimbursement, but if you have it in the line item with my income, then when I'm filing my taxes at the end of the year, I'm paying
right.
income
And
taxes.
if you get an
on it
advance, you're
again.
not, because you're
If you
getting.
what?
If you're getting an advance, you're not, because you're getting it ahead of time. It's going through accounts payable. If you're getting reimbursed, then it's going through payroll.
Well, then that's, in my eyes, that's completely wrong.
Yeah.
Because that reimbursement for mine might be $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a year that I'm paying taxes on that I've already spent tax money on.
And I didn't mean to spring that on you.
You're
If you'll, take a look at it, you can send us, and if we need to discuss,
Yeah.
we can put that on a future agenda. What had this in mind for me is I didn't pay my taxes over the weekend.
Me too. Well, I got a big letter how much they are.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to save up a while to pay it.
So I was just curious.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that did my taxes this week.
Turned April.
A week and a half.
Let's see.
Matt, on this overtime too, I noticed up at the top, because and the only reason it caught my eye is that we talked about it. Jack just clarified that, asked me about overtime, and I noticed we ran over a little on all of our, because we've got that milling machine running, but Jack's not on my list. And I didn't know if it,
So I know that we had voted before that they were going to be considered non-exempt, but I don't know that we've ever got a payroll effective sheet that said to make him non-exempt. So that would be the only reason why I could think that he would be excluded from that.
okay, so we need to just turn in a new sheet.
Yes, sir. That just says non-exempt.
Sonia has those?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We just need to have Debbie prepare one for each of our foremen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we did talk about that in court, but we can't order that to happen automatically. It's got to be, it still has to be done by the department head or the elected official.
Okay, so Mike was involved, just circle back real quick. Mike was more involved when we went to the new financial system on building the payroll, because I was converting 27,000 general ledger accounts. So reimbursements do not add into your gross, and they're not reported as income, and they are not on your W-2, because they are a employee-related expense. They are you doing something for your employer.
And Matt, this was just me, Mickey, and Barry, but none of our grosses are the same.
Okay.
We couldn't figure out why.
Okay. I can take a look.
Okay.
And differing by $4,000 or $5,000. That's all the, are you on the last page?
No, I'm on 561. That's the last page.
Overtime. So right now, like 600 something. And we only budgeted 700 something. Is that really all we had budgeted, 700?
Yeah, because typically don't want to automatically assume a ton of overtime. But you'll also see the salary number is
Below.
much below.
Right. About half of what they projected overtime. That's, that's a lot. Always a lot.
All right. Everything's still looking? Or?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
The judge, just to add to Chief's worksheet, we did get a check from Collin County for $99,000, pretty much $100,000.
And we're billing them on a monthly basis, is that right?
So, but they did send us a purchase order from their county department that it was only at $500,000. So it'll be it'll be interesting to see when we hit that cap.
That was February's payment.
February's payment was 99. Yeah, let's make sure that's at that rate, and that was a little bit of a shorter month. We'll need to start talking to them at the end of this month about, because they'll be hitting that.
Their cap.
Yeah, well, they'll be hitting that cap.
Do you want me to forward that to
Yeah,
you?
if you don't mind.
And the reason they put that cap was just they didn't want to spend more than that.
I didn't know I had a cap. Didn't tell you
My
that.
guess is, and we would probably do the same thing, is they might have just wanted to make sure they were putting eyes on it to reevaluate and to force themselves to do that.
It's not like they can just release them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the jail's not finished, so.
We'll be sitting down in the corner waiting for you when you get here.
All right, let's go to item number 3 then, which is review and discuss regular bills. Did that email come from,
Margaret?
It came from Margaret,
It
okay.
came on Wednesday afternoon, about 4:45 instead of Thursday morning.
448.
it's pretty good, pretty close, 3 minutes off.
And it was sent early because of the expected issues with American National Bank.
Yeah. And once again, thank you for proactively communicating that to folks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good.
See,
Thanks, Chief.
See you, Will.
See you next time.
50 pages on the general this time.
There's a lot.
I'll let you do the general.
Regional, I think, that would-
Is AMR keeping a little more on top of
It seems
regularly?
like it.
Okay.
It seems like it.
I've noticed
Like you're buying a lot of
we get them more frequently, but smaller numbers, so I
Yes.
figured they were.
that time of year again.
Yeah.
curious to ask everyone, with the recently announced tariffs and potential uncertainty about what that will do to costs, have y'all looked at all about what items it might make sense to purchase sooner rather than later, or just kind of waiting to see impacts of stuff?
No, say that again, Judge?
With the
Oh,
tariffs that were announced this week and what that may or may not come into play, I'm just wondering if y'all have looked at if there's anything that you might be looking to purchase sooner rather than later in the year, or
I don't
if
know,
you just.
I don't know that we have anything that's day-to-day stuff that's affected that much by tariffs.
Okay.
It's not like we're,
It's gonna be downstream, like heavy equipment, maybe
Equipment.
parts that come from.
and I don't know that they'll be, most of those are American-made anyway, most of our equipment. So I don't know that it'll be a huge effect right now. Our oil and rock's not
Soil
affected.
binders went through the roof, I don't know.
Yeah, it went.
How that,
It's just about got where we, I don't know if we can use it, we
Right.
sure can't use it like we used to. And it was such a great tool.
Then it might be better to switch over to a lime or something like that.
May
I mean,
have to.
some
Yeah.
concrete, concrete base that we run through it and mix it, grate it in
yeah.
instead of that hardener. I think it's getting the cost is,
You don't, so y'all think it'll, if there are impacts, you think it will affect day-to-day?
nothing that we need to buy because
Okay.
like our tires, we buy American tires. You don't really buy, so it's not like we want to stock up on them.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sure there won't be a tariff on sealing oil. Surely there won't be.
I mean,
Coming out of Tarrant County.
well, it'd be hard to make it a lot higher than what it is. I mean,
Yeah, no kidding.
We can start having counties putting tariffs on each other?
Yeah.
It seems like it.
Oklahoma might put a
Yeah.
tariff on the wrong. We joked, I guess it could happen.
The Constitution prohibits that.
Well, they don't even sell it to us. That's the problem with
Yeah.
rock.
Mhm.
Sure doesn't put you in a very good negotiating position when they tell you we don't care if you buy any or not.
Yeah.
That does not put you in a strong position.
Oh, yeah, we've got the contract to sell to you, but we can't sell any to you right now.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't make you remember to call them before you go, though.
Yep.
Because if you run up there, you have to come back empty. It's,
We spent 3 weeks on the phone with them.
Y'all can probably pull it up quicker than I can. How are we running jury compared to last year at this time? Do y'all know?
You mean by totals?
Yeah.
Let me take a look.
I am a lot of
That's that audit, First Amendment audit.
And we'll actually have a presentation on that on the 15th for the jury-related services.
Oh, okay. Brendan, have you had any reports that the Wi-Fi is running a little more slowly than normal? Are there any bandwidth issues? Okay. I noticed when I was having mental health court on Wednesday, I had to switch to my hotspot because it wasn't able to handle it.
Is that in here?
Uh-huh. Okay. And
I
then
was
it,
just telling Wilmer that when I come over here, my Munis and stuff, it just,
it seems to be running more slowly now with Munis, which is why I thought to ask that.
I'll check in and see. It could be that there's just a lot of users on that one AP and it's
Okay. Sorry, Matt.
You're good, Judge.
So we're running about half on jury. We spent $36,516 in 2024 from January to March, and currently we're at 17,104.
So we spent 36,000 last year through the same time period? Okay. Huh, interesting. Just goes to show your memory's not always what you think. It seemed to be higher than I remembered, but not the case. Okay.
I wonder if we're calling fewer jurors, or are we?
They have that
is it
text
more
and stuff
the
that
text?
tells them not to come because my sister and my niece both got that.
Yeah,
So that's $40 saved right there, you know, before
Yeah.
it ever started. And
the new system seems
So the
working
new
out.
system's
Yeah.
paying
Yeah.
for itself.
Yeah,
there
that's
it
what
is.
I'm.
the new system's great in every way, shape, and form. So.
And as far as the system to be presented on the 15th, just to give a brief description of it, it's going to be a prepaid system, kind of like with Pitney Bowes, and you're going to put in an amount. You're going to load an amount to the system, and that system's going to pay the jurors. Instead of you seeing 80 juror checks every week, you'll have one check that goes to the system, and then it pays it out, and it's already integrated with the system she's using. So.
And that's going to be on the 15th?
Yes, sir.
Of court. Okay.
And we're just writing the one check to load it. We don't have to
And
keep
then-
up with.
Goes to a debit card. And they keep track of the balance. And if the juror doesn't register the debit card, then it's unclaimed and it comes back to the county.
Because right now we get checks back that not deliverable, and I hold them for 180 days. Then I void them, and they do all the work to put it back in.
Should
Used
cut
to be
down a lot
180
of.
days, now it's 90 days.
Oh, excuse me.
Yep.
This cuts down on the man hours that we put into
The
it.
Yes, sir.
churn.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
good.
All right, everyone have a chance to look?
Hmm.
Questions? Okay. Well, then it is 10:31 and court is adjourned.